Welcome drummers. In this video we're looking at 13 beats every beginner should know. Let's get started. Beat number 1 is the beginner-friendly rock beat. It's really easy to play. What you want to do is count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and play that with your leading hand, in this case my right hand, and play that on the hi-hat. Then add in beats number 1 and beats number 3 on the bass drum. And lastly, add in your backbeat on beats 2 and 4. Fantastic groove. You can use this for so many things. It's arguably the most played groove of all time, so definitely learn that one. Easier ways to break it down, literally just play 1, then the and, then the 2, then the and, like this. So 1, bass drum and hi-hat, 1, and on the hi-hat, then 2, snare drum and hi-hat, and then 1 more hi-hat. So really slowly, it sounds like this. So that's 1 and 2 and then we're going to repeat that for the second half of the bar on 3 and 4 and. So again, really slowly. Fantastic groove. Get your connective tissue on the hi-hat down, whether you're a lefty or a righty, you can play it with whichever hand you lead with. Just get this down first, the 1 and 2 and. Add in your kick. Then get your snare drum in there as well. Technique-wise, use your wrist. Use the tip of the stick on the hi-hat. Nice closed hi-hat there. I would go for a wrist motion like that for some nice pronounced tone and also gets you locked into the groove. You don't have to play it on the hi-hat, you can also play it on the ride cymbal. You can also play it on the toms. And once you get your confidence, play it faster. So that's our beginner-friendly rock beat. Take it for a spin. Our next beat is our 4 on the floor rock beat. So once you've got the hang of the previous beat, it's very similar. All we're doing is we're adding a kick on every single beat of the bar. Sounds like this. So again, the hi-hat, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, but we're adding a bass drum on each note this time, together with the snare drum. Sounds like this. At this point, really focus on your backbeat, make sure it's a really loud and consistent sound, and the way to play your bass drum, you can either use heel up, where I'm moving my knee and literally lifting my heel up there to get some power. If I'm playing quieter, you can consider heel down, or I'm playing with the toes. Again, you can play it all around the kit. Ride cymbal, floor tom is basically a variation of the first one, but it has a totally different feel and it's great for, well, rock, disco, funk, all sorts of things. 4 to the floor groove goes like this once more. Try it yourself. Next up is a simple pop beat for beginners. It's a fantastic groove. It's a backbone of many pop tunes. Again, we're going to have the 8th note tissue on the right hand, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Adding in the snare drum, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now the bass drum here makes the whole pattern complete. We've got a kick drum on the 1, and then on the and of 3. 1, and, 1, 2, and 3, and. Sounds like this. Then with the backbeat, really slowly. One and two and three and four. And it's great for pop music. It can also be used as a drum and bass beat if you speed it up. Again, play around the kit, different tempos. It's going to be useful for so many different types of music. This is what it sounds like with a ride cymbal, but again, 1, 2, 3, and 4 with the bass drum and the snare. Super slowly. Again, focus on your consistency. That bass drum is a little bit tricky at first, but it is linked with your main hi-hat. So link it up, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Get that going. You're going to be able to play that in so many different tunes. Yeah, pop beat for beginners. Definitely recommend you learn that one. That was our first 16th note groove, and it will probably be your first 16th note groove as well. It's a fantastic beat, loads of different styles of music, funk, pop, even metal at points, but it all starts from 1 E under, 2 E under, 3 E under, 4 E under, which is how we count 16th notes or semiquavers. So depending which hand you start on, in my case I'm right-handed, we're going right, left, 4 times. So just helps me keep everybody in time. But then everything else is what we've done previously. Kick on 1 and 3, snare on 2 and 4, sounds like this. What I would recommend doing first is getting your backbeat. What you're going to do is 1 E under on the hi-hat and then snare on 2, E and A. So get that pattern first. And then you'll find it's a lot easier to add in the bass drum on 1. If that's messing with your brain a little bit too much, break it down even further. Just do beat number 1, 1 E under, bass drum on 1, 4 notes on the hi-hat. Right, left, right, left. Once you've got that, that's one set. Next one, snare, E under, right, left, right, left. So it's 2 parts played twice each, 4 beats, but it's really 2 sections. 1 E under, 2 E under, together, and we count 3 E under, 4 E under. Really good beat, speed it up. You can even re-orchestrate this around the toms. So I'm going to put my right hand on the floor tom and left hand on the rack tom and move the right hand to the snare drum. With the bass drum. There's loads of different ways you could play that. You could play between the bell of the ride and the hi-hat. You're going to come across this pattern a lot in drumming, 16th notes with the leading hand going between the backbeat and different parts of the kit, but really break it down. So yeah, your first 16th note groove. You're going to love it. Disco time. That's your very first disco beat. It's again very similar to the other beats we've done, but this time we're introducing an open hi-hat with the left foot. So we start with our eighth notes on the right hand on the hi-hat, but we're going to open on each and with the left foot. Very slowly, it sounds like this. The way I would do this is I would plonk your left foot really firm down there and just move your toes and just get a little bit of what I like to call that lethal sizzle. So we don't want like a big flabby open. Kind of loses the groove. If you think of the words pea soup, that's what we're aiming for. It's tight, it's groovy, this connective tissue makes the whole beat dance, but other than that, it's the same as our 4 to the floor rock beat. So what I would advise doing is get your feet together like this. And when we actually play the eighth notes on the hi-hat, it all becomes apparent in this disco loveliness. Then add your backbeat. It's called the disco beat, but you can use it in indie, you can use it in psychobilly music, you can even use it in metal. It's used in loads of different styles. Do it really fast for that indie sound. Or slow it well down for some funk. Again, if you're having trouble putting it all together at once, just break it down. 1 and, so closed, open. Together. Pea soup. Add the bass drum in. What I meant before is the feet come down together, so they're down, open, down, open. You'll notice your feet are coming down at the same time. I would probably recommend heel up for this one, just so you can get the control, but eventually you will sync the left foot, so you can just move the toes to get that motion. Let's disco. Another little bonus beat for you there. You can completely ignore the first eighth note and play it like this. Then with all 4. To play that, you're going to go kick, hat, snare, hat, kick, hat, snare, hat. Like that, and you're going to choke the foot between each time. So you've turned your disco beat into a ska beat there, but go back to the eighth note grooves at the start and play the disco beat nice and clean, nice and slow. You are the dancing queen. Let's go. Again, 4 to the floor if you want. So yeah, disco beats. They're all yours. Take them for a spin. That was a simple halftime groove. I'm going to explain it with the hi-hat just so you can hear what's going on, but we're going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So the kick drum is on the 1 and the snare drum is on the 3 with the connective tissue between, played on the hi-hat this time, but for heavier styles of music I would recommend playing it on the ride or a crash. And it goes like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. It's really easy to play, but you've got to give it some power and some passion. You want to get a big bass drum on the 1 and a really big snare drum on the on the 3, and it sounds like this. So as with the other beats, we've been having the 2 and 4 as the backbeat. The backbeat is on the 3, and every 4 count is one bar of this groove. You can speed up, you can slow it down. It's a really good halftime beat. But if you play it faster, it kind of sounds like a normal beat, but sort of half the speed, if that makes sense. But yeah, let's play around with it at different speeds, and you can feel what it sounds like. You don't have to play it really loud. You can play it quietly, but this is very effective with crashes and stuff. So here we go. Depending how you're playing it, at what volume, I would recommend a big heel up and a big molar technique, full stroke for your snare drum. So many applications for that beat. Not that. A very subtle or very loud and brash beginner halftime rock beat for you there. Try it yourself. So that was AC/DC's Back in Black, an absolute staple rock tune, iconic fills in there. But what we've actually written here is the chorus from it. Now what's great about this is it's a groove we've already done. It's our very first beat, it's the rock beat for beginners. We're going to be playing that 6 times. And then on the 7th bar, you can see that we have a new groove, which is its own groove on its own. And we're going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So we've got a kick on the 1 and then 3 and then the and of 4. So we're going 1 with the hi-hat, with the snare drum. If you loop bar number 7 on its own, it becomes its own rock groove, which is useful for loads of things. That's the part that I would take from this particular chorus. There's a crash on beat number 1, which usually marks the start of a section. So yeah, you're going to play the rock beginner beat 6 times with a crash at the start, and then bar number 7, you're going to play this pattern that we've just done: kick, snare, kick, kick, snare, kick. And loop that. It doesn't have to be rock, it can be pop, it can be loads of different things. Try it with the ride cymbal, sounds like this. So you're going kick, snare, kick, kick, snare, kick, kick, snare, kick, kick, snare, kick, kick. Put the floor tom with it. Then as written, follow along, it goes like this. That last bar is Back in Black. Learn that song if you don't know it, but that is how you play the chorus from Back in Black. Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons, that is December 1963. Brilliant groove if you want to add texture to your playing. You want to count it in 16th notes, so 1 E under, 2 E under, 3 E under, 4 E under. But the most part of the groove is 4 to the floor, quarter notes on the kick, and then backbeat 2 and 4, and then 8th notes on the hi-hat. I'm just going to play that first so you can get an idea. Pay attention to the open hi-hats. On the first bar it's on the and of 4, and the second bar it's on the and of 3 and the end of 4. Just going to play the first 2 bars so you can hear it. It's also an 16th note on the of beat number 2 on the second bar. It goes like this. So we're going. So together, the first 2 bars. Pretty cool. Then you're going to do the same thing, but you're going to add in the ghost notes on bars 3 and 4, and it sounds like this. All together, bars 1 through 4. December 1963. Fantastic groove for loads of different styles of music. Great introduction to adding texture to your grooves and some coordination with ghost notes and open hats. But keep it funky. So that was Creep by Radiohead, an absolute belter of a tune. Really good band, Radiohead. Definitely check them out. The way to play this groove is similar to some of the others we've done already, but it's got a beat on the of 2 on the bass drum. Then add a bass drum on the and of 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, and then 8th notes on the hi-hat or on the ride cymbal. It's a really funky pattern on its own, but this way we're playing it quite rock, it's quite anthemic, and it goes like this: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. You don't even have to put that last and in on the bass drum, you can just do this. All together, sounds like this. Eighth notes on the leading hand, big backbeat on 2 and 4, bit of syncopation on the bass drum. It's Creep by Radiohead. Listen to the song, enjoy playing it, it's fantastic. Espresso by Sabrina Carpenter. Pop belter, check it out. It's a really good song. It's very similar to our pop groove that we did earlier. You're going to do the first bar like this. But you want to make the feel kind of edgy and drum machine-y. So short staccato-y. Bar number 2, we've got a beat on the of 2 on the bass drum once again. Sounds like this. there's a beat between. That's the move to practice there. Hat, kick, hat. And then add the kick with that second hat. So hat, kick, and then kick and hat. Learn that, it's useful for loads of different things. It's the only sort of 16th note in there, other than in the 5th bar, we have it on the hi-hat. So on the E of 4, E and of 4, whole groove goes like this. Love that song. Play it really staccato, really short. Imagine you're a drum machine and practice that 16th note. And you'll have a wonderful time. No espresso required. So you may not have heard of that band. They're an up-and-coming band. They're quite underground. They're not very well known. They're called Queen. That was We Will Rock You by Queen. Obviously, it's an absolute rock classic. The actual way they played this was by getting a microphone and smashing it into the bass drum with a big clap. So what's written there is not exactly how we're going to be playing it on the kit. The way I'm playing it there is 1 and on the toms, and then a big snare flam on the 2, 1 and 2, and then 3 and 4. 2 hands together sounds like this, with the bass drum, of course. But what I'd like to do to get that kind of more flammy, sort of bigger sound is do a slight flam on the toms. So hit the right or the left slightly before each other. In this case, I'm going to do the right hand first and the left hand slightly afterwards. You can hear the difference between that and both together. Put the bass drum in. And then do a big flam on the snare. Brilliant beat. You don't just have to use that when you're playing Queen. You can play it really slowly. Really fast. You can use it for many different things, but it's an iconic drum beat. Our country's national anthem, if you ask me. But yeah, that's We Will Rock You by Queen. Great one to start with. Have fun with that one. My ginger brethren, Mr. Edward Sheeran, Thinking Out Loud. It's a really nice song, really slow, really sort of delicately played, but the groove itself goes like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Dum, da, dum, dum, da. But you want to make it nice. This is nice. We've done rock, we've done We Will Rock You, we've done loud and brash. You want to have a nice connective tissue on the hi-hat. I'm going to use heel down on the bass drum. And the snare drum, quiet, nice, but full sounding. Throughout the rest of the bar, you've got the chorus, and it's just 4 quarter notes, and then a quarter note, 2 sets of 8th notes, and then an and of 3, and then a snare. So that goes with the singing. I'm a drummer, I'm not Ed Sheeran, despite my my locks. But yeah, so I would even go as far as, if you're playing this in other styles of music, do a cross stick. For those of you who don't know, cross stick is when we take the backbeat hand and we put it across the rim to make this lovely wooden sound. great for playing quietly. So if you play it with that, you can hear it's a very mellow kind of tone to the groove. Think wedding band, think dance, think love, think romance. Try it with the ride cymbal. Thinking Out Loud by Ed Sheeran. Try it yourself. Californication by Chad Smith from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. That's the introduction to the song. So absolute banger of a tune, but that introduction is actually quite deceptively difficult to play, but this is how I would approach it. Get your eighth notes on the hi-hat. Bass drum on the 1 and then the and of 3. Then get your backbeat on the snare drum. Then you're going to do on the of 2, the E of 3, and then the of 4 as ghost notes. Like that. But the way Chad Smith plays them is he plays a super loose ghost note to the point where it's almost like 2 notes. So instead of a drag, it's almost like an actual set of 2 demi-semiquavers or 30-second notes. There's loads of different ways to play that groove. Listen to the record to get the way he plays it, but that's the main thing I would learn would be without the ghost notes to get that syncopated groove. Here we go. Few tips for opening up the left hand is you really want to pinch the fulcrum and get this kind of drag. The way Chad Smith plays it obviously is unique to his own particularly fruity and zesty and wonderful style of playing drums, so you're going to have to figure out your own way to play it, but that is the main way to play it as it is notated. Dream of Californication. So there you have it. Let us know in the comments which of the 13 beats you liked the best. Subscribe to our channel if you like this sort of thing, and click the links below for more gear and playing and drumming tips. I'm Laurie at the Gear4music drum channel. Thanks for watching.